I did warn you there was a risk. There always is when you've got large animals anaesthetised. There's always the danger the underneath lung will get congested with blood and you'll get hypostatic pneumonia setting in. That's what killed her.
Huh. She couldn't have lived with that tooth anyway. The only alternative we had, Mr. Rundle, was to put her down without even trying.
If you had an elephant with toothache tomorrow, you'd do exactly the same again.
I think I'd be inclined to put the animal out of its misery and have done with it.
So much for the miracles of modern science.
Yeah, it's depressing, isn't it?
Not to mention expensive. I don't mind telling you, Morris, it's a severe financial blow at this moment. I shudder to think how much it's going to cost to replace that elephant.
Oh, come on, Donald, cheer up. Won't be the last time you lose a patient, so the sooner you get used to it, the better.
Yes, I know.
Look, there's your friend.
Come on, Roger. Hey, Roger, come and get your dinner.
At least somebody likes us.
Go on.
Roger doesn't look any the worse for his ordeal, does he?
I was the one that went through the ordeal.
Well, at least you learned something about tigers. It just goes to prove they're not all that different from the common or garden domestic moggies, doesn't it?
It just goes to prove how much bigger their bladders are, if you ask me.
That's better. No time to get sentimental in this profession.
I can't say I feel very professional in here.
Perhaps not, but you mustn't let it show. Never let the clients push you around. As far as veterinary matters are concerned, we are the professionals. Mind you must never forget who's paying the bills. The customer may not always be right, but you must take care not to upset him. Be firm, but courteous.
Don't you want to know what I've got to celebrate?
Oh, yes, of course.
You might try to show it.
Sorry.
Mary the elephant?
Mainly, yes.
Oh, never mind, love. You did everything you could. Everything anybody could.
That's what makes it worse.
Oh, come. Just remember, every cloud has a silver lining, even Mary dying. And the silver lining in this particular case, my darling boy, is that Jenny Blount has got herself a regular column in the Chronicle, byline and all.
Byline?
You know, by Jenny Blount.
You've got your own column? Oh, that's marvellous. Congratulations. But what's this got to do with Mary dying?
Simple, dear boy. It was the piece I wrote about Mary that finally swung the column for me.
The piece you wrote? You've written an article about Mary's death?
Of course. Everybody loves it.
You've told everyone how I botched the operation, killed the zoo's favourite animal.
Oh, come on, you didn't botch it. You did a marvellous job.
Well, how would you know?
Because I know you and because you told me all about it.
Well, not so you could write some sentimental slush about it.
It is not sentimental slush. It is a first-rate piece of human interest journalism about pushing back the frontiers of animal medicine.
You might have asked me first.
Look, love, I'm a journalist. It's my trade, my career.
And everything else? Everybody else? Your family, friends, me, we're all just copy?
Why don't you wait until you see what I've written before you start attacking me?
Did you know about this?
Only after the event.
After what event?
After she'd written it.
Have you read it?
It's not a bad piece.
Go!
Pushing back the frontiers of animal medicine. Got her own column on the strength of it.
Not a bad piece. It makes us sound as though we don't know what we're doing.
Well, we don't, do we? Not when we're dealing with exotic species.
You put her up to this. You're trying to get us sacked from the zoo.
No, honestly, I told you I didn't know anything about it until last night. It was too late to do anything then.
Well, I hope you can convince Mr. Rundle of that. I had him on the phone this morning while I was still eating my breakfast, and he'd had the chairman of the zoo onto him before that.
I'm sorry, but
he blames me. Do you realise that?
What for, the article or Mary's death?
Both.
But that's ridiculous. How can he?
When you get to know my brother-in-law a bit better, you'll realise he's capable of all sorts of things.
I can't control what Jenny does, but I'll have a word with her and ask her to be more careful.
Just you do that. And you can tell Mr. Rundle as well next time you see him and give him an apology.
These are the calls for today, Mr. Wood.
Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Oh, what are those, the accounts?
Yes, I managed to get them all ready to go out, right up to date.
Ah, good. No, I'm not kidding you, it did really. So their mother would come rushing out of the sitting room and belt poor old Bimbo on the backside.
Oh, and you should have heard the bad language.
Talk about Portsmouth Dockyard on a Saturday night. I never heard of Paris like it.
Ah, there you are. I've been trying to find you all evening.
In every pub in the district, by the look of you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I would offer you a drink, but you don't look as though you need one.
I wouldn't have a drink off you if you did offer me one.
Well, there's something wrong.
Oh, don't come the old soldier with me, Morris. You know damn well what's wrong. Sending me a bill like that.
Look, it's the end of the month. We sent out the accounts as usual. What's wrong with that?
I don't know how you have the brass neck to send me a bill like that. You expect me to pay for your mistakes?
The only mistake I made was letting you talk me into looking after the zoo in the first place. Anyway, I don't think this is the time or place to discuss matters of this kind. I'm going.
Oh, no, you don't get off that easy. We've got a contract, and I'm holding you to it. But there's nothing in that contract says I have to pay for you and your sidekicks to learn your jobs.
If you can't balance your books, you're the one who needs to learn his job. We are fully qualified veterinary surgeons.
Tell that to my elephants.
Oh, we're back to that, are we? So that's what this is all about. Look, I warned you about the dangers in that operation.
Warn me? You did your level best to talk me into it.
All I said was that if we were going to have to put the creature down anyway, there was nothing to lose in trying.
Not for you. Perhaps you could see a big fat fee for the operation, couldn't you?
I could sue you for slander, making accusations like that in public.
Well, go on then. But I'll fight you all the way. I'll tell everybody how you messed the operation up, how you killed our biggest attraction. Go on then. Why don't you sue me?
I've a good mind to. You all heard what he accused me of, didn't you? Right, I want you all to witness
And you can
this.
sue me for the money while you're at it.
Now then, Lou.
Hello, Raggy. What are you doing round here today? I didn't hear your cart.
How do, Mrs. Turner? No, I didn't come on cart. I've got troubles.
I've known you a good many years now, Raggy, and you've always had troubles. What is it this time?
It's serious this time. My poor old horse. He's bad.
I thought you told me you'd given him some physic that was going to put him right.
I did, but it didn't do no good. He won't work.
Oh, what's wrong?
He's gone lame on me.
I see. Well, seeing as how you don't hold with vets, I reckon you've got a problem there.
I don't mean I don't hold with vets for nothing. I mean, there's bound to be some things, you know.
I know.
Trouble is, you know how much they charge nowadays, and I ain't got much money.
So you want our Donald to have a look at your horse as a favour?
Something like that.
For nothing.
Oh, well, a bit cheaper, perhaps.
Oh, you always were a cheeky beggar, Raggy Walker. I suppose you have to be in your game. Do you know how many years that lad has worked and studied to become a vet? And now you have the cheek to want to put all his experience up for nothing? I'm ashamed to know you.
Don't be like that, missus. You know I'm not a rich man.
Well, you may not be Sir Bernard Docker, but I'll lay to it you've got a damn sight more money under your bed than I've ever made in this business. Now then, go on and be off with you. And don't let me ever hear you try that on again. I never knew such an old skinflint.
I'm sorry, missus. Only, it's my poor old horse. He can't walk.
Oh, all right. I'll have a word with our Donald, but it's for the horse's sake, mind.
Stop.
And you're to be a proper paying customer, remember, or he won't come.
Keeper. Here, you. Keeper.
Me?
Yes, you. Come here. Come on, lad, hurry up. I haven't got all day.
So,
That bird over there. That golden pheasant.
yeah. Lovely, ain't he, missus? That's Henry.
There's something wrong with it, did you know? Just look at his eye.
Oh, yeah. His pimple, you mean?
Pimple, that's a growth. The poor bird must be in agony.
No, he's had ages.
You mean you've known about it for some time and you let the poor creature suffer like that?
And he's not suffering.
Oh, that's just being callous. Of course he's suffering.
Listen, missus. For something. I've just told you he's not suffering.
I shall report you to your superiors, young man, speaking to me like that. And if something isn't done about that bird's eye, and quickly, I shall have the RSPCA in here. See how you like that.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Right. That does it.
There we are then, Malcolm. Now we can put him in his box and you can take him home. Right. Thank you, Mr. Turner. Now, Malcolm, I want you to give him 5 drops of this in his drinking water every morning and evening. Can you do that?
Yes, Mr. Webb.
Good lad. I don't think he'll have any more trouble, but if you do, you can bring him back again, all right?
Yes, Mr. Webb.
Right. And keep a tight hold on that box, mind. You don't want him tunnelling his way out before you get him home, do you?
No.
The zoo just telephoned, Mr. Webb.
The zoo? Who was it?
Mr. Riley.
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be Mr. Rundle phoning to apologise.
They'd like a visit this afternoon, if possible.
But don't tell me about it. I'm not going near that place or that man until I get an apology.
If left to me, I wouldn't have called you. This old Betty created such a shenanigans. Threatening to call in the RSPCA and all the rest of it. Top of that, she's very friendly with one of the directors, so...
So against your better judgment, you had to call in the vet. Where's the patient?
He's in that box. Had to keep him away from the others.
Right, could you get him out for me, please?
Come on, boy. There you are. You see? Yeah, nothing to it, you see?
Yes, it's a tumour. I think we'd best take it off.
What, operate, you mean?
That's exactly what I mean.
I ain't going to manage that.
I think we'd better do it at the surgery. If you can get someone to bring him round in the morning, I'll do it then. Just a spot of anaesthetic.
Anesthetic? Oh, I don't know about that.
There's nothing to it, Mr. Riley. No danger, I promise you.
You'd better be right, young fella. You'd better be right.
Tomorrow, 11:30, at the surgery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got another visit to do.
Right, pick up that box, young fella.
How long has he been lame like this?
It's hard to say. He's been a bit dozy, like, for quite a long time.
Well, he is getting on a bit. Being dozy might not have anything to do with it.
It isn't canker, is it? I mean, you will be able to make him better.
Certainly not canker, Mr. Walker.
Thank God for that.
It might be something worse.
You what?
Well, I can't be sure yet. Seems to be affecting both feet. He hasn't had anything else wrong with him recently? Influenza, strangles, or anything?
No.
Have you noticed him pointing his feet?
Pointing?
Like this.
Oh, aye. He does that, just like a ballet dancer.
Is it worse when he's been standing still for a while? First thing in the morning, for instance?
Oh, aye, it's terrible first thing. But it seems to get better, like, as he gets going.
Well, it doesn't look too good, I'm afraid.
What do you think it is, then?
I think it's navicular disease.
Oh, what the heck's that when it's at home?
It's a bone disease of the foot.
Can you cure it?
Well, if it is navicular disease, and I'm not sure that it is, no, there is no cure.
You mean he's gonna die?
He may never work again.
But if it's a question of money...
No, it isn't that.
He's my partner. Just like his mother were afore him. He thinks I'm his dad. I need him for me business.
I'm sorry, Mr. Walker. You have to face the fact that you might have to buy another horse to replace him.
No, I couldn't. I just couldn't. He's all I've got.
You'll just put him on the table till we're ready. This is Miss Ledbetter. She's going to assist me.
Can you really do an operation on a bird's eye?
Certainly can. It's a simple piece of cutting and sewing.
Oh, it must be wonderful to be a vet. It's what I'd love to have done, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, but I wasn't good enough at school, like. I couldn't afford it any road.
Yes. It's a long training, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Still, as long as I can work with animals, that's the main thing.
You like animals?
Yeah, like the big cats best. I wouldn't mind being a game warden in Africa. That'd be terrific. Do you know anything about that?
No, I'm afraid not.
No, don't know how you get a job like that. So, I went to work in the zoo.
Next best thing, eh? All right, I think we're ready for the patient now. All set, Ethel?
Yes, of course, Mr. Turner.
Right. Where's the tin?
What's that?
For the gas. Halothane. Okay, let's have him.
Isn't it pretty?
Very handsome. I think the male golden pheasant is one of the most beautiful birds in the world.
Oh, yes. Look at that tail. Such lovely plumage.
Yes. There's the eye. We'll soon deal with that. Can't have such a handsome bird disfigured, can we?
Where do you want him?
I'd like his head up the centre, Terry, please. Right. This isn't very elegant, but it works perfectly. Yep. Hold him nice and still for me.
There we are, pal. You and me, we're going to be as snug as a couple of bugs in here together. There you are, pal. Hey, do you see that? You're gonna be all right. Old Raggy will look after you. Don't you fret.
Is it finished?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, come round in a minute. Birds tend to regain consciousness very quickly.
That's terrific. Really terrific, Mr. Turner. I wish I could do things like that. Must be lovely to be so clever.
Oh, don't worry, Terry. I'm sure you'll...
Hey, your pea's off.
Somebody catch him before he hurts himself.
Leave him to me. I know how to handle him. It's an accident, Mr. Riley.
Accidents don't happen if you're taking proper care. I don't blame the vet. Lord knows that young man's that helpless you can't blame him for anything.
Did a belting job on the eye.
The eye? And what's a pimple on a bird's eye compared to losing his entire tail? What use is a golden pheasant with a bald arse?
They'll grow again, won't they?
Oh, aye, they'll grow again. But months it'll take. Months and months and months. This is your fault, Terry. You were in charge of that bird. You should have kept a proper hold on him.
It wasn't my fault.
I can't trust you to do a single damn thing without making a mess of it. Go on, get out of my sight.
Lord knows what Riley and Rungle are going to have to say. It's bad enough visiting the zoo at the best of times. But I'm dreading the next call I get.
Oh, come on. The operation was a success. The only thing that was damaged was the bird's dignity.
And mine?
Pooh, what do you want to be dignified for? You're not old enough yet.
I'll have you know. Veterinary surgery is a very serious profession.
Oh.
Not like your sleazy trade.
Sleazy trade? You think it's not sleazy to go wading through elephants' droppings and getting soaked by tigers and pushing your arm up cows' bottoms?
All part of nature's rich pattern.
Nature? Oh, you can keep nature. I'm heading for the big city and the bright lights.
Fleet Street, watch out! You'll never know what hit you!
You won't say that when I'm rich and famous.
Stuck in the middle of a city.
Oh. When I'm a famous writer, Mr. Turner, I'll be able to live exactly where I like. I might have a luxury flat in the middle of Mayfair and an idyllic cottage in the country.
Well, you can live in the flat, and I'll stick with the cottage.
All right. You can have your own practice, looking after all the local farmers and being a pillar of rural society.
And you can sit in your study and write masterpieces.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
I'd like that.
Of course, you'd have to leave your muddy boots in the porch.
Of course.
You know, you could be rich and famous too if you wanted.
Rich, I wouldn't mind. Although I'd be quite happy just to have enough. But why would I want to be famous?
Well, you say nobody knows very much about treating wild animals, the ones that are in zoos and things.
No, they don't.
Surely there'd be a terrific opportunity for a bright young man to make a name for himself. Well, you could be first in the field. Wouldn't that be exciting?
I couldn't think of anything worse.
Darling, there will always be zoos and circuses and menageries. So surely somebody ought to do something about it.
Somebody, yes, but not me, thanks.
Think how satisfying it would be.
It would be if I could relate to them. Like I can relate to horses and cows and dogs. How can I relate to crocodiles or hippos or spitting cobras?
I don't know why I bother with you.
Anyway, right now I'd rather be relating to you.
Come on. It's time we were going.
And the poultices and the rest seem to have helped him.
Oh, aye. He seems much better.
Good. I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, Mr. Walker.
Do you still think it's that navvy's collar thing?
Well, I'm not so sure. We might be lucky. Still very tender. You know, this may not be navicular disease. It might be another condition called pedal osteitis. Some of the symptoms are very similar, especially in the early stages.
Is there a cure for that one, then?
As long as it isn't too far advanced, there might be.
I don't care what it costs, just so long as you can put him right again.
You don't think you could let me have something, do you? Only my partner, well, that's to say my boss.
He's worried whether I can pay up or not, is he?
Well, yes.
Well, I'd better let you have something on account, then. How will that do?
That'll be fine, thanks.
Come on! Roger! Oh! Roger! Come on!
What the hell are you up to?
Oh, hello, Charlie.
What do you think you're playing at? Get him out into the enclosure. And when you've done here, Mr. Riley wants you. You stupid young fool! You've caught his tail!
Oh, no.
You've broke his bloody tail!
There you are now. Aren't these the beautiful ones, eh? Do you know what these are now? These are the tail feathers of the golden pheasant. What you might call the bird's crown and glory. Except, of course, they're not from off his head. They're from the other end. And would you believe that these feathers were taken from the poor bird by a great, clumsy young vet? Can you imagine that? Oh, you wouldn't go pulling feathers out like that now, would you? No, of course you wouldn't. No. Right, there you are now. Right, off you go now. And remember, never take hold of a bird by its tail. Right, off you go. Go on. And come and see us again soon.
Very much, Mr. Riley.
Not at all. Ah, hello, Mr. Turner. Didn't see you. Just been talking about you.
Yes, Mr. Riley, I heard.
Not entirely your fault, of course.
Well, I'm afraid it was, and I'm sorry.
No. I blame that young idiot, Terry. You can't trust young people to do anything right for you these days. Anyways, we shan't be bothered with him again.
Why's that?
I've given him the push.
You sacked him over the pheasant.
Oh, no, that was just one item in a whole catalogue of misdeeds. Careless, clumsy, and useless. There's his latest. How's your father?
Ah. I was afraid it might be him.
What I say is there's nothing like an old friend.
What's the trouble?
His tail. You not see now the way he's holding it. That young Terry had the job of letting the tigers out of their sleeping quarters this morning. And what does he do? Lets the sliding gate go too soon and drops it bang on poor old Roger's tail.
Ah, and you think the tail might be broken?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yes, that could be nasty. Well, I better take a look at it. It was just badly bruised, and I should think quite painful. Mind you, I can't help feeling old Roger had it coming to him.
Oh, well, I'll get off to the land and nod. Shall I make you a cup of cocoa before I go?
No, thanks, man. I'll just finish this, then I'll be up myself.
Aye. Oh, don't be too long, then. And I will.
Night.
Why have you brought me here? I thought we were going to the Swan.
I've come to see a patient, and I think there might be a story in it for you. Oh. Hello? Oh.
Mr. Turner!
Mr. Walker?
What are you doing here?
This is a friend of mine, Jenny Blount.
Oh, I do, miss.
Hello, Mr. Walker.
She writes for the Chronicle.
Oh, I shall have to watch what I say then, shan't I?
Oh, I've just come along for the ride.
I just came to see your partner. How did the last lot of injections work?
Oh, Mr. Turner, just you wait right there. I shan't be a sec.
What's going on?
Great place, isn't it? Good copy?
Well, it's different. I'll grant you that.
There he is. What do you reckon?
He's lovely, aren't you, boy? What's his name?
Pal. That's what he is, see? He's my pal.
Well, there's no heat there now. Could you walk him around for me, please?
It looks fine to me.
That's because he is. It must have been pedal osteitis after all. And we've caught it in time.
You mean he's cured?
Certainly looks like it. I'll pop in tomorrow and groove the heels just to be on the safe side. Then he's going to be all right, I think.
Do you hear that, pal? You're going to be all right. Hey, that's bloody marvellous, that is.
Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Turner. Yes, he is. I'll get him for you. Who is it, please? Donald, it's the telephone for you. They say it's urgent.
Who is it?
A Mr. Riley.
Oh, no. Hello? Yes. Certainly sounds like it, Mr. Riley. Yes, I'll be right with you. Bye. How long's he been like this?
Sure, I don't know. Charlie found him like it when he come in this morning.
I thought at first he were just asleep still. But when I opened the gate, he never moved, and I knew something were wrong.
Couldn't be anything to do with that stuff he put in his tail.
No, Mr. Riley.
Well, something's poisoned him, that's for sure. I've seen it before.
I'd better take a closer look at him. Do you reckon he's safe?
Step this way, Mr. Turner. Charlie, mind your head. There you are.
Well, he's certainly been doped. Could be barbiturates. Charlie.
Is he a goner?
Just wait a minute. I'm going to listen to his chest. Don't want another case of pneumonia, do we?
Well?
It's clear enough so far.
Any chance he'll just sleep it off?
Not without a great deal of help, Charlie. If we leave him alone, he'll just dehydrate, get kidney failure and hypostatic pneumonia. His lungs will get clogged up. Wouldn't stand a chance. You may get them anyway.
Well, what are you going to do?
Just let me think. What we need is a stimulant. It's got to be safe and long-lasting. And something to fight the dehydration. That's the first priority. Is the cafe open yet?
No, but there's the canteen if you want
Yes,
any.
that'll do, that'll do. I need coffee. Strong black coffee and gallons of it. Quick.
For Roger?
That's right.
Now I've heard everything.
He can't drink coffee.
He's not going to drink it, Charlie. It's going in the other end now. Quick.
Mr. Webb's surgery? Oh, hello, Mr. Turner. I see. Yes, I'll tell him where you are, but we've got a very busy morning, you know. You want what? Saline. Mr. Turner, I have my job to do here. I don't know what he'll say. Yes, but if I'm not here, what about the other clients? Very well, I'll speak to Mr. Webb, but... Oh.
Take the other end.
Will it work this way?
It's the best way of getting the stuff into the bloodstream.
I'd have thought you could have put the tube down his throat. Well, like they did for the suffragettes, you know.
Forcible feeding. Too many risks. This way, the coffee will go straight into the intestines. And then the caffeine and liquid will be absorbed into the system.
Well, remember that the next time you come to work with a hangover, Charlie.
Is that the sailor?
I came as quickly as I could, but it's not very convenient, you know.
Yes, I know. Thank you. And what did Mr. Webb have to say?
He wasn't very pleased. Is that the patient?
Morning, Miss Ledbetter. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Mr. Riley. How's the tiger?
Oh, you'd better ask him. He's in charge.
Well, we haven't lost yet. But he won't be out of the woods for a few days.
Oh, dear. You won't have to stay here all the time, will you?
Well, I'll come back when I can. In the meantime, I'd like you to take a blood sample off for analysis, urgently.
They look so different when they're asleep, don't they?
Quite harmless.
Such a beautiful animal. You know, he reminds me of my Timmy. Only bigger, of course.
You have cats, Miss Ledbetter?
Oh, I have 3. Poor thing. Who'd want to do a terrible thing like that?
I had no idea vandals could be so malicious.
Oh, I'm not talking about vandals, Mr. Turner. I'm talking about people on the inside. Keepers, even.
Keepers? Keepers would do
don't
something...
ask me why, for I don't know the answer. But they do say to work with animals, you need to be a bit doolally anyway.
Yes, but
it's usually folk with a grudge against the zoo for some reason. Folk who've gone bad. And God knows why, but they usually take it out on the animals. Creatures they're fond of, more often than not.
I had no idea. That's terrible.
Oh, it is, to be sure.
Do you suspect anybody?
The only one I'm sure it isn't is myself. And if you were me, you wouldn't even be sure of that.
What about that lad you sacked? Young Terry?
Aye. Could be. You never can tell.
There's nothing much I can do around here. Just hang about and wait. Where does he live?
Oh, you fancy yourself as a bit of a Sherlock Holmes then, eh? Or is it Dr. Watson? You'd be wasting your time. Never prove anything.
We'll see.
That's a boy. Yes.
Terry.
Mr. Turner, what are you doing here?
I think you know why I'm here.
No.
I want to have a word with you about the tiger.
I don't know nothing about it. Nothing.
Nothing about what?
Nothing. Leave me alone.
You didn't leave Raja alone, did you?
Aye. I never touched him.
No. You didn't have to touch him, did you? You just gave him a piece of meat, right? Why, Terry? Why did you do it?
I don't know what you're on about, Mr.
Stop that.
Turner.
I don't have any time to mess about. I just want to know what it was you gave him.
Is he dead?
No. And he isn't going to be if I can help it.
Better get back to him then, haven't you?
Terry!
Why does it have to be me? You blame me for everything. Like the feathers and the tail. And it was an accident.
Yes, but this wasn't an accident, was it? You didn't poison the tiger by accident. You did it on purpose.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Turner. I can't help you. And you can't prove a thing.
Terry, if that tiger dies... And I thought you loved animals.
Disturbing the fish, Mr. Turner.
Oh, so you've deigned to come
Yes?
back to us, have you?
Yes? Are you sure of that? Right, thank you. Ah, that confirms my diagnosis. Barbiturate poisoning. Probably somebody's sleeping tablets, they say.
What are you talking about?
The tiger. That was the lab with the blood analysis.
Oh, that. Haven't you finished with that yet?
Oh, I wish I had. I was hoping it was something there was an antidote for.
Not barbiturates.
No. What would you do?
Well, there's not a great deal you can do except guard against dehydration and kidney failure. And pneumonia, of course. What are you giving him?
Subcutaneous injections of warm saline, regular turning, and enemas of black coffee.
Coffee? It's a good idea. Well, there's not much more you can do now except wait and see. There's no need for you to spend all your time at that place. You can leave the keepers to look after him.
It was the keeper that poisoned him in the first place.
I'm not surprised you get some funny people working in zoos. I don't know why I ever got mixed up with them.
I wish to God you hadn't.
Now then, you just make sure that tiger survives. There'll be hell to pay if we lose another large animal.
I'll have to be there all night. I don't think you could possibly...
No, I couldn't. I thought we agreed you were going to do as you were told.
We agreed you were going to keep me away from that place as much as possible.
Well, it's not damn well possible right now.
Tigers. They shoot tigers in India as pests. Ethel, what on earth are you doing here?
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Riley. How's the patient?
Doesn't look too hopeful, I'm afraid.
Oh, dear. I thought you might like a cup of tea and a sandwich.
Ethel, you're amazing.
Thanks very much, Mrs. Very nice of you.
There you are. Some boiled ham, egg and tomato, and some cheese.
You're a minister and angel, that's what you are, Miss Ledbetter.
He really is like my Timmy.
Do you want to go in with him?
In there?
It's quite safe.
Well.
You've forgiven him for what he did to you, have you?
Yes. Wasn't his fault.
He is beautiful. Fancy me stroking a tiger. Mr. Turner, you don't think he's coming round, do you? He does seem to be moving rather a lot.
I'll give him some more coffee. I'll bring him round. To think, in a couple of hours I won't be able to do this. I'll have to keep an eye on him for a few days yet. I reckon he's going to be all right. Oh, Mr. Riley, get the police to check and see whether young Terry had access to any barbiturate sleeping pills. We might be able to prove something for once.